Okay guys, welcome back. Welcome back to another video. This one is a news-related video for you guys. I'm going to be talking about my thoughts on the Paramount merger with Skydance, and then the whole South Park deal, and then apparently the special and all that. So I'll probably talk about some spoilers for the special, but I'm not gonna be reviewing it right now, but I'll be discussing it because with Trump and all that in office, they're apparently the White House has responded to it. So yeah, I'll be talking about that. If you guys haven't already, please just subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. If you guys don't want to listen to me talk about pop culture stuff, you guys can click off the video and watch reviews and stuff instead. Anywho, yeah, Paramount Plus. Well, Paramount in general. Paramount in general, I'm gonna start off with the whole skydance thing here. So it actually, the deal actually went through. So Skydance is now going to own Paramount. I'm not sure if it'll be like if it's gonna be like Warner Brothers Discovery, where like AT&T, still owns, part of that, or if it'll be like if Viacom just completely sells it out. From what I can gather, though, is they're merging with Skydance. So the deal is actually going through, which I'm surprised it took this long, because personally, Paramount does not actually own a lot of IP compared to other studios. And actually, out of the major six, it actually, I think, is like the smallest one of them. Yeah, it's pretty small. I don't know, maybe Sony might be smaller, but they have like Columbia Pictures too and all that, so I don't know. But yeah, so the deal went through. So they actually now Skydance is gonna own a good chunk of it. However, I want to be excited about this because Paramount's been struggling for a while. But then I'm like, I don't know if after what happened with Warner Brothers and Discovery, I'm like, is this gonna be a good idea, or is this gonna make Paramount go under even more? Because Paramount's been going under and not doing it. They're not performing as well, and so they've been trying to use this merger to save them. That's the thing where I'm kind of concerned about, and plus Paramount actually has done some stuff that I actually do like about them compared to other studios. They actually have been releasing a good chunk of their stuff on DVD. Well, them and Warner Brothers have been both doing that, but Paramount's been doing it a lot. They'll release a lot of their stuff on DVD. So Paramount, is like one of the few studios that's still releasing physical media, on disc and all that, where Disney and all that has been trying to push to streaming and all that. I mean, I guess Universal is still releasing the DreamWorks and Illumination on DVD, but a lot of their shows are not being released on DVD. A lot of them are getting released, on streaming, and so a lot of the Nickelodeon shows have been released on DVD. So, I mean, I don't know. If because there's a new CEO, if that's going to change that or not. Apparently, though John Lasseter will not be the CEO of Warner or Paramount, because I thought he was part of Skydance. Apparently, somebody else is gonna be the CEO, and apparently it's the person who was in charge of Universal. He was the CEO of Universal a while back, but of course he's also been accused of being a predator and all that, and has harassed women and all that as well. There's been reports of that. So of course we go to another person in charge has been reported of that, but he was actually fired, like John Lasseter. Now the thing is, though, again with this kind of stuff, is it's kind of hard to prove if something like that has been happening. But the thing is, though, is if multiple people report it, a lot of times it means it could have happened. But sometimes they just want an excuse to get rid of somebody, But he was fired. He was actually fired, and where John Lasseter, yeah, he was let go from Disney, but people still worked with him and all that. So I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that's kind of crazy that we're getting another CEO and all that. But I'm just are they also gonna push more towards streaming too? Like I said, Iger's doing, with Iger's doing that with Disney. Iger's pushing more towards streaming, and that's actually kind of killing Disney because Disney's spending so much money on streaming. Or I think they'd be better putting their stuff on other platforms and releasing stuff on DVD again. Because I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually would like to see Family Guy on DVD again, see some Family Guy DVDs, or American Dad. To be fair though, Family Guy has kind of gone downhill, but American Dad kind of hasn't. I'm just saying, I don't know. But I'm just it'd be nice to see some DVDs of stuff too. But I'm not really sure what's gonna happen here, but I'm just kind of concerned, because I'm especially after what happened with Warner Brothers and Discovery. When they merged, they made the company even worse. The company is way worse now than it was beforehand. And it was already bad enough. So I'm not really sure what will happen with this merger here. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. But also we have apparently Paramount, I think won the case. I believe I heard they won the case of South Park, and apparently South Park is now going to be going to their platform. With Warner Brothers, honestly, the show is, it's not like the shows were on there very long. The shows were not on there very long. A lot of the shows from HBO Max have been leaving the platform. So the fact that Warner Brothers was throwing a fit about it. I get they were upset because South Park was making a lot of bank, but the thing is though with South Park though on HBO Max is I don't know if the show would have lasted on there. I don't know if it would have lasted, because again they keep taking stuff off of there and all that. Honestly, a good chunk of Cartoon Network shows, for example, are gone on the platform. Apparently a lot of them are going towards Hulu, which honestly I'm just I'm thinking to myself, if they go to Hulu, I think Hulu is basically going to just become Disney Plus. I still keep saying that they're going to become Disney Plus, so a lot of the content on there will probably be going to Disney Plus, because Hulu is kind of, they could go the route too where they could make Hulu available across the globe, because apparently there's that whole thing going on there too, where other countries did not have Hulu, but they had something else. I think it was called Stars or something like that. I don't know. This whole streaming thing is so confusing and all that. I just don't understand it. But the thing is, though, is a lot of shows from, like, even Paramount, though, have technically been removed, too. They've been removing them and putting them on another platform, so... But technically, Warner Brothers doesn't actually own South Park. That was Paramount. So Paramount was probably like, if Warner Brothers is just taking their stuff off the platform, then then why are we licensing our stuff to this platform, HBO Max, if it's just gonna get taken down anyway? I mean, I don't know exactly what caused this whole thing. Because I was thinking maybe it could be because Paramount's been struggling as a platform, but the thing is, though, Paramount Plus has been struggling, but I don't know if that's the reason why they did all this, but again, like I said, HBO Max has been taking off their stuff off the platform, and Paramount's been doing the same thing, but Paramount also owns the show, If it were the other way around, like, let's say if, like, Paramount was doing, like, Robot Chicken on their platform, and then they just took off, and then they were, like, upset at, let's say, like, Warner Brothers for, trying to, like, hog the show and screw them over, and they're taking their stuff off them, then maybe that could be a little bit different, but Paramount actually owns, South Park, so... I don't know, this whole thing is just so confusing. Like, it is really confusing, and basically the studios are trying to, save their asses by, like, making deals and all that. Like, I think, now correct me if I'm wrong with this, but I think, like, even Family Guy and all that, I think like, Family Guy is back on Adult Swim, but I think it's also going to Comedy Central, too. Like, I think it's going to Comedy Central. So it's going on all these channels, because again, these studios are losing the money here, and I don't know why they just don't cancel some of this content if it's, like, not making the money anymore. Like, not just cancel it, I don't understand. Like, I would say, like, with South Park at least, it's still making bank and all that. Like, Family Guy and all that, Family Guy is just, like, barely anybody talks about Family Guy anymore. People talk about, like, SpongeBob, The Simpsons, and all that. Family Guy, people do not talk about it much anymore. I hear hardly anybody talking about Family Guy anymore. Because I think like, even American Dad, I guess, kind of is like that too, but American Dad's also been more well received than Family Guy has been lately, but I don't know, this whole thing is a mess. Like, it is a mess. And speaking of American Dad, I'm gonna talk about that in a future video too, because that's kind of that might run into some problems too, but I'll talk about that later too. But speaking of South Park, so they made this new special and all that, for their premiere, and I gotta say though, the episode itself, I won't go into too much detail because I'll probably review it in the future, but I just got done watching it. It was okay. Like, it was nothing super special. Like, it was okay. But there were some things I liked about it. Like, I did like seeing Satan and all that with Trump and all that. Was pretty funny. And then they also made a reference to Mr. Garrison being Trump as well, because he was Trump at one point too, and but I've only seen, like, episodes here and there of South Park, so I can't really, like, I don't really get all the references. I figured there's no point in watching these random episodes if I'm going to do it again in the future, because I do want to go tackle every episode and review it of South Park, maybe in the future. I've seen people do ranking videos on the episodes too, but I don't really remember a lot of them. I do know people do not like think like people are saying like season 20 was like the worst season of South Park, is what I've heard. I think it was season 20 or 21 was like the worst. And a lot of people say that's because they actually thought, because they thought like Hillary was going to win the election, so they had like, I think they had like jokes planned for that, and then like Trump won. So I think they like maybe went back and redid some of the scripts and all that. Maybe it got rushed. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but they did bring back a different Trump now. The thing is though is about that. Apparently, the president from the White House, Trump himself, does not really like that and all that. Which I'm just like, I mean, they weren't really being offensive about him. They made fun of like, they pointed out he had like a small penis and all that, but like which I mean was kind of funny. I mean, they didn't even censor it. Yeah, South Park didn't even censor it. That's something I kind of wish more cartoons could do. More cartoons, I feel like, I mean, to be fair though, there are times where I feel like them censoring the show would be a lot better. Like, for example, Paradise PD. God, I hate those jokes. Like, they're just like, the new jokes are just really out of hand. And I kind of wish they kind of censored those a little bit, but a lot of times though, these cartoons, like for example, say bad words, and then like the media will not allow it. I'm just like, I kind of more like better if like more stuff was not censored all the time, because some of the censorship is getting really bad. But yeah, apparently the president though, I've heard is not really a big fan of it, But I'm like, I'm like. But again, it's not like they were being offensive. I mean, South Park's made fun of, like, everybody. To be fair, though, I guess people have pointed out that they didn't make fun of, like, Biden and all that when he was president. That's what I've heard. And I'm like, yeah, I can kind of see why maybe people might be a little upset about that, because Hollywood kind of felt like they were making fun of Trump and not really Biden, but to be fair to both parties, the jokes kind of got boring after a while. I mean, the media was doing their own thing with Biden and all that, and I just thought the jokes kind of got old after a while there too. Like Biden has, this, problems remembering stuff and all that, and then making jokes about that, the jokes just kind of got boring and tedious over time, and same thing with Trump's jokes. But South Park actually kind of did something. They actually did switch the jokes up a little bit, so the jokes felt like they were a little bit, different, and didn't feel like they were doing the same jokes over and over again, But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was an okay episode. Like I said, it was nothing super special, but like, it was okay, but I don't think the president should be caring about that. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, it's just, but apparently Matt and Trey Parker apparently did apologize to the president for making the jokes, which I'm just like, you apologize to him, you should just be like, Mr. President, we make fun of everybody, it's not just you, we make fun of everybody. Yeah, he could just do that. I mean, he could be like, the president could be like, though, you guys didn't make fun of, Biden and all that, but again, after, when Trump got elected in 2016, they were probably like, we don't want to make that mistake again, because they actually did. They actually quit making episodes for a couple years, because, before this Paramount lawsuit, happened with Warner Brothers and all that, they actually were going to quit making episodes for a couple years anyway. And that makes me think probably because they didn't want to make the same mistake they did before with, Trump and all that. So I think they just wanted to like wait and see what happened. Because that's the thing though, like, yeah, they didn't make fun of like, yeah, getting Biden, but they also have not like made episodes in a few years either. So I think it's just like, I think they should just been like they could just been like with the president, just be like, I mean, the president could go and like try to sue them, but then the president could be, then they could be like, and the courthouse be like, I'm like, it's like freedom of speech, and we weren't like harassing him or anything. We were just making funny jokes because again, they do that all the time, and it's never been a problem. But yeah, I don't know. But I mean, that's the thing though. That's kind of with like, again, with what they did with like I said, Family Guy too. Family Guy and all that has made jokes in the past too. They made jokes in the past too, and but that's the thing. They made plenty of jokes in the past, but the thing is, a lot of these jokes just kind of started to get running their course over the time, because like I said, it just felt like they were just making the same jokes and all that. And yeah, I agree. A lot of these shows and stuff in Hollywood was not doing it, like, they'd make fun of Trump and not Biden and all that. Like, in fact, they would actually harass people. I'm not kidding. Like, they would literally, some of these people would come out and harass people, for like, they would go out and harass people or block them, because they didn't want people making fun of Biden, but then they did the same thing with Trump, so I didn't see maybe why some people are upset, but like I said, with like I said, with South Park too, South Park, and like I said, has made fun of like pretty much everybody, and yeah, they didn't make fun of the last president, but also the last but also like they quit making episodes for a few years too, so I mean, I don't know. That said, though, I'm probably gonna go ahead and actually, I don't know if there's anything else for me to really point out. I guess I can say, yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to see where this, also where Paramount and skydance is gonna go to. I'm really hoping that they don't ruin Paramount, because yeah, Paramount has fallen, but like I told you guys, I don't think it's fallen as bad. It has done some things I do like and some things I don't like. Like I said, I don't think they've gotten as woke and as bad as like other studios. Yeah, they did things like race swap, like April and all that, on the Teenage Ninja Turtles and all that, but like, they haven't have gotten as political as other studios, and also like I said, they're the studio that's still releasing a bunch of physical media on DVD, so. But that's the thing, though, they're doing that right now, but that could end up changing, if the new CEO comes in. If it were me, if I were Paramount, I'd be like, I probably would just shut Paramount Plus down. I'd just shut it down and just be like, I would just shut it down and just be like, you know what, HBO Max, you can do the streaming rights and all that, and we can just do DVDs. And then, we could do the DVDs and all that, and then, or I could go put a lot of our shows back on, like, Netflix or something. They've already been doing that, so. But yeah, I think they should probably just shut Paramount Plus down. I think Paramount Plus should just shut down. I think Paramount Plus, Disney Plus, I think even HBO Max, they all need to just shut their platforms down. Because we've been struggling right now, like, Disney is going out there trying to buy out more, streaming platforms, because a other platform is not making a lot of bank, so they bought out Fubo TV. You know, they have, well, they were supposed to buy Hulu. Hulu is already part of the deal, which again is still stupid. And then because they don't really need Hulu, they could just sell it off instead of laying off employees. They also are, teaming up with, HBO Max, because, the platform itself is, HBO Max is struggling, as well, So they're trying to, like, merge together to keep themselves alive. And I'm like, you're doing all this work, and, like, you would have been better off just being on Netflix. I mean, some of these streaming services, that's fine. Like, I think some of them are okay, but, like, I think, like, Redbox having its streaming service was fine, because Redbox was just a DVD place anyway. Tubi's fine. And then, like, even, I think Peacock is fine, too, because Peacock is, is Comcast, which Comcast is already a cable company, but Disney doesn't have the rights to be a streaming platform, neither does Paramount and all that. None of them, I feel like, need a streaming platform, so, like, I think they could have just avoided this lawsuit in general. I mean, they want it, but they could have just avoided it in general if they just been like, HBO Max, you can take our stuff, or you can take our, like, South Park, and then we'll just shut our platform down and save us some money, But, I don't know. But, yeah, I don't know, we'll see where this whole skydance thing goes. We'll see what happens with, South Park. So far, Trump has not, like, sued them. I don't know if he'll sue them, because they did apologize to him, but again, I feel like apologizing to the guy, like, doesn't make any sense, because like I said, they made fun of people before, but, but if I guess it keeps them from getting a lawsuit, that'll be fine, but, I don't know. But I'll see you guys, later. I mean, tell me what you guys think about this merger, and I guess the new CEO, who is also been classified as a predator as well, but, he was not, he was, like, fired for being accused of one. I don't know, again, if he did anything or not, too, because with that kind of stuff, it's hard to kind of tell unless you have actual video proof, but, but I'm just saying, like, it's kind of funny how that's been going around, but, I don't know. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.